for your girl.
That's right, it's a podcast.
It's Pod For Yah Girl.
We're dropping a rap.
Pod For Yah Girl. It's Pod For Yah Girl.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Wagochi, and welcome to Pod For Yah Girl. Listen, I have an amazing, phenomenal Go Girl for you guys this week. My good friend, my good sis, none other than Miss Annetta Hunter.
Hey everybody, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I am super excited.
I'm excited. I love it.
Listen, when I tell y'all who this woman is, y'all are going to be excited too, because if you love what she does as much as I love what she does, then this conversation is going to be phenomenal. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So I'm just going to read her bio really quick, just so y'all can get all of the good juices of who she is and what she does. All right, my girl, Annetta Hunter, is a real estate broker and founder of the Atlanta Dream Finder. Her current brokerage is the Virtual Properties, and she's also a bilingual realtor in Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised, though, she's from Boston, Massachusetts, so don't
From Boston, don't get it twisted.
don't get it twisted. Don't try her, because y'all know how them Boston folks be.
Oh no, what are you talking about?
Patriot fans, but we ain't gonna say nothing. Okay. From Boston, Massachusetts, but she moved to Atlanta in 2001. Sorry about that, y'all. Also, as a realtor, her first priority is to make her clients happy by listening to their wants and needs to help achieve the very best outcome in every transaction. She says that her passion for meeting new people, serving others, and contributing to their happiness is why she became a realtor. Oh my gosh, I love it. She strives to ensure that the buying and selling process is fun, easy, and stress-free. And in addition to working in real estate for about 12 years, she also has worked in the legal field as a litigation paralegal for over 10 years. Man, that is fun. So you smart. I feel like you smart.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yes,
Just a little
I
bit.
love it. So tell us about the career, real estate, why you got into it. Well, wait, let's start. First, I really want to know about the paralegal. How did you transition out of being a paralegal into real estate? Because that's a huge difference.
It is. I mean, it's kind of the same because we were on the claimant side, which means we help injured workers and people that were injured. So we're helping them, customer service based.
Wow.
So very similar. But just to kind of explain what happened, I moved here in 2001 from Boston, and I moved here. Pretty much our family decided to move to Atlanta for a better life because it was more affordable here.
Okay.
And so we moved here in 2001, and it was hard for me to get started. I was still in school, and I didn't know anybody here, and I was just kind of trying to find my way. And I just so happened to find a job that was at a law firm. They were looking for a receptionist that was bilingual. And because I'm bilingual and I speak Spanish, they were like, yep, I had no experience. The title was like, the position was called, I think, legal office assistant, reception.
Oh, wow.
It was something that I just never had any experience with at all. But because I presented myself in a certain way, and I trusted in God, and I applied, and they gave it to me. So I favored. That's how I started. I started answering phones at a law firm, and the attorney they really loved me. And years went by, and the actually left the law firm, and the attorneys went to a really big law firm that I'm not gonna mention, but they went to a really big law firm, and they called me to come work there.
Wow.
Yeah, as a paralegal. I ended up going. It's a very long story, so I just gave you the little bits here. But I ended up going back to UGA and getting my paralegal certificate, and then they called me and they were like, "Hey, yeah, we definitely would love for you to come. Your passion and you're really good with people." And so I started there, and I started, working at the law firm. During that time, I was still kind of lost. So before I started at the law firm, I started taking all different kind of classes. So in 2003, 4, I started taking a real estate class because I was just reading a lot about how wealth was in real estate.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be wealthy. I'm gonna be wealthy, and that's how I was thinking because I was young, and I need to be wealthy. I want to break generational curses, and I don't want to be in the system, and I don't want to be on any type of assistance. I want to make it for myself. So I just taken every and any class, and I started taking a real estate class. And this one lady came to me in my real estate class, and she was already in real estate. And she was like, "Girl," and she was an older lady. She's like, "Girl, baby girl, don't give up. You're gonna want to give up." And I was like, and I never like paid attention to her. I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And just kept about my business because I just didn't really talk to many people. And I just said, thank you very much. And I just kept about my business. And I think about that lady, and I can't remember her name, but I think about her all the time when she told me never to give up.
Give up.
Yeah, because I tried to give up so many times. So during that time, I was doing real estate and I was working as a paralegal at the same time. I got into real estate, got my license, got into real estate, and I was working as a paralegal. It was really hard juggling both because I was doing both essentially full time.
Wow.
An older agent also told me, like, don't ever call your real estate profession a part-time job. Don't ever tell anybody you're doing it part-time. Treat this like this is your job and your other job is your part-time, even though you're working 40 hours. So I started adapting that mentality. And eventually about 4 years ago, it took several years, but about 4 years ago, I went full-time in real estate. And I trusted God to do that because without him, I wouldn't. Without him and my husband,
Right.
because my husband had held me down a lot.
Support.
Yeah.
Family handy.
Oh,
When you got support, it means the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in a nutshell how I got to be in real estate right now from being a paralegal.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this. Like every episode, I have a go girl. And so for this episode, you are my go girl. And there's for several reasons why.
Okay.
So the first reason is number one, like I know Annetta on a personal level, and she gets the go girl. Reason number one is because anytime I have like a real estate question, like I can just call her and I know she's gonna give me like the real good advice. Like she's never gonna sugarcoat it. She's never gonna be like, you know, like in one foot out the other foot or give me like some random advice. She always give me like some real true advice. I remember you telling me at one time to file for like the homestead
and tax exemption.
Yeah.
You told me you had never filed for that.
Yeah, we were like, what is the homestead tax exemption? She was like, no, you can go do it. Go do it. Fill out the application. Da, 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 da. And so we did it. And I'm like, man, look, you know what she's talking about. So
And you save money?
Yes. Like, but that's something that no one ever told us. You know what I mean? And so ever since that, I've always been like, okay, regardless of whenever we get ready to buy a home, this is our realtor. I mean, we have a home now, but she would be my go-to person. So number one, thank you for always picking up your phone, because some people like, well, she ain't never bought a house with me, so I don't really have to pick up the phone. But no, you've always just been a good person just to go to and that I can trust for real estate advice. So I appreciate you for that. So go girl, keep on being that. I know you're probably like that to all of your clients and customers and stuff. So that's the reason number one. Number two, like I said, when I was reading her bio, y'all, she owns I want to call it a blog, which you could kind of tell us a little bit of Atlanta Dream Finder, but I feel like it's more of like an inspiration. Like if you follow her on social media, like she puts out inspirational content and stuff for anyone buying a house or anything like that. And so I feel like just the name Atlanta Dream Finder, like is so motivational. Like you're going to help people get to the American dream, if I want to say, because I feel like the American dream is to own a home. Like you have a lot of people that come to the United States and their biggest thing is like, okay, I want to get a job. I want to, build something for myself. And one of the ways where you can like really truly live the American dream is to actually enter into home ownership. And so you're taking it on and saying, okay, Atlanta Dream Finder, let me help you make your dreams a reality. And I think that's so big to just kind of take on that standard, if you will, like keeping it a standard. Like I'm not just trying to like get money from you or get the commission, but I actually want to help you like, build, and this is a dream for you. Let me make your dream a reality. Let me help you make your dream a reality. And a lot of people just in it for the commission. I ain't gonna tell you, like, maybe down the line, I'll tell y'all my situation. Our realtor, I basically found our home.
Right.
I'm gonna say that. Like my realtor did not find our home. Like I had to it's like you have a realtor, but you're still doing the work.
Right.
And I know just from our conversations that you're somebody that actually does the work.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge difference from you saying like, okay, just having the real estate title versus saying like, I'm actually helping you enter into this dream of owning a home and building generational wealth and stuff. So go girl. You get the go girl. You get the go girl for this
Thank you.
episode.
Well, so Atlanta Dream Finder was inspired because it was inspired by my own dream. So I used to always say like, man, my dream is to have a house. I'm gonna have a house. I used to say crazy stuff like I'm gonna have a house in in the islands somewhere. But I was like, no, my dream is to have a house for my kids. Be able to provide for them. Like,
Wow.
this is like I was young and I'm like, no, my dream is to do this and do that, and and it's gonna be in Atlanta because that's when I was deciding to move to Atlanta. And I had a friend that we used to always say like, I remember you used to always say your Atlanta dream, and I'm like, yeah. And so the same friend, which I'm still close to this day, we were on the phone one day, and I was trying to come up with the name for my Instagram and for my website, and I was like, I'm like, what? It's gonna be about real estate, so what am I gonna name it? And she was like, Atlanta Dream Finder, and I was like, oh my god. I've been saying Atlanta Dream, my Atlanta Dream forever, So a lot of my content is usually about, I try to do some educational content sometimes, and also just kind of talk about, where we're at right now in the market.
Yes.
And also to motivate people, it can get done. Like, and it's not,
I could do it.
yeah, and it's not just for like I said, for buyers and sellers, for those agents that have tried really hard and invested a lot of money. Real estate's not cheap. So some people come in and they can make it without investing a lot of money. But some people invest a whole bunch more than you should.
Yeah.
Because they fall down the rabbit hole of people saying, "Let me mentor you," or "When I got the secret sauce and I can help you out with it."
Yeah.
And I always tell people, 'cause I mentor people right now. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I mentor people right now, and I tell every single one of them, "You are the secret sauce."
Right. Because what works for you may be different than what works for somebody else. And that's so many things I want to get into with you. Like that's another thing is like you're bilingual. And so that's also something that you can add to your resume. But people may just come to you because they know you speak their language, you know what I mean? Versus, like how you're saying you're the secret sauce. Like that's a part of your secret.
That's part of my sauce.
It
definitely is.
It can't be duplicated, you know what I mean? Because I'm not bilingual. And so if I'm a realtor and I'm trying to take your secret sauce, I can't really take it. Like I have to work with what works for me. Like somebody may approach me because, of my hair or my makeup or because I'm
What relates to you? What's relatable about you?
yeah, what's relatable to you? Like I know my realtor before, like she was the one who helped us with buying this home. She was the only thing that connected us was that I did her hair. And so we had a relationship based on, but yes, before I used to be in advertising, I used to do hair. I think
My girl was good. You did my haircut. Everybody loved that haircut. Yeah, do it again. I know you ain't dabbling in that, but I'm gonna need you to pick up your scissors for a minute.
I literally just remember this moment just now. But no, I did her hair, and that's what she always used to come in and she would talk about, buying houses and owning a home and stuff like that. And she just would encourage me. And Mike, she's like, you're, engaged. Y'all need to look into buying a house. Da, 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 da. And so, but I had friends that were realtors, so even though she was my client and she was a realtor, I had friends that were realtors or, associates that were realtors. And so, this is like this 10 plus years, maybe 11 years ago. And so in that moment, like she's like, encouraging me. And so somewhere it stuck to where I was just like, okay, like, I think we want to buy a house. So what do we do? And she just took us through the process, but it wasn't like I made up my mind we were going to buy a house first. And then looked for a realtor. And then like, it was like, she was really the one encouraging me. So she was the secret. That was her secret sauce. Like, she's encouraging me as I'm doing her hair to the point where she
We
knows.
call it nurturing.
Oh, nurturing.
Nurturing. She was nurturing me.
She was nurturing me.
That's
Okay,
what
it
we
was a
call it in real
strategy.
estate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it worked.
Well, you have to do that. And that's, I mean, and I'm not sure all your situation with her, but that's kind of like how it works in real estate. Like you know somebody that even just pique their interest a little bit, keep massaging it and singing it into them. Kind of like ministry when you're speaking it over their life, like the same thing. And then once you give more facts to people and more information to people, they start thinking about it a lot more, even when she's not around. So when she wasn't around, you was thinking about stuff she said.
Yes.
So she was
Legit.
She was nurturing.
To the point where I actually started talking to Mike about it, talking to my husband about it. We having conversations. We're thinking we can really do this. And so I'm like, okay, let's
She
go.
planted that seed. She planted that seed while you were doing her hair.
It was a whole strategy. And so, but that's my thing. Like, what works for her may not work for you, may not work for the next person. And so you really just got to bring what you bring to the table. But I love the fact that you're bilingual. I love the fact that, you're real and you're not just in it for the money. Like, I think those two things being in your secret sauce, I mean, the money is good, of course.
The money's great.
But
money is great.
but I could tell that's not the only.
It's not. Let me tell you, because my husband gets on me all the time, and my husband, dude, he is like a sweetheart, but he gets on me because he's like, you gotta stop telling people that, because I'll tell people, hey,
it's not about the money.
No. I'll tell them like, don't get this house. People like, if they like it, let them get it. And I'm like, they don't need that house. That house, I think it got mold. It don't look right. He need a, I was like, and I tell them, because I have some clients that just think they're Mr. Fix It, right?
Right.
And I know that they not Mr. Fix It. And I'm like, I literally be like, I go home and I tell my husband, I'm like, oh, they gonna get this house, they gonna get a divorce because they not gonna fix this house.
100%.
And I, I'm bad at it. I've gotten better because I don't want to sway you fully on when you're purchasing.
Right.
But I do want to make it like where I don't want you looking at your house a year from the day you buy with me and be like, I hate Annetta.
Yeah.
I don't want that. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Because it happens. Like it happens even in our own personal life for different things that we do. Like the car salesman that sold me that car, if I saw him, I'd probably run him over. Like that's how we do. Because you know what I mean? And so
because you have to deal with it.
Right. And I want them to call me back in a few years, say, I need you to sell my house. And I want to make sure their experience it was good. Now, granted, home ownership is for the birds sometimes because it's maintenance. A lot of maintenance.
100%. Yeah.
And if you're not ready for it, and I tell people all the time, if you're not ready for it, don't do it.
100%.
I'll be here. I'll be here waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It got to be something. It's commitment. It's commitment. You got to be committed to, if you don't get something that's turnkey ready, to the fix up the project.
Exactly.
And then if you do get something that's turnkey ready, it may not be a commitment in that moment, but it's later on down the line. Yeah, you got to be committed to your landscaping, to, your driveway pavement. If you have a what's it called? HOA. You got to be committed to that HOA fee. Like there's so many different things. And so, but one thing I do want to ask you, switching gears just a little bit, have you ever thought about quitting? And if so, why? What was your reason for maybe thinking about quitting? And if you haven't thought about quitting, why?
So
Just love it that much.
I definitely have thought about quitting several times.
Okay.
Probably, I will say at least 4 times. So I got my license in 2005. And I started off with a big company. I won't say their name, but it was a world recognized company.
Okay.
International.
Like as your
My brokerage. My brokerage, yes. When you get your license, you have to be under a brokerage, right?
And so she's talking about like y'all see it like Keller Williams or Atlanta Fine Homes and stuff like that. Like those are like
the large. It's a very large one, and you would know which one it is. Like it has a big balloon.
Okay.
So, so it, and I started with them, and as a new agent coming on, I feel like it wasn't the best decision for me to go with name recognition, which was everyone kind of tells you to go with name recognition for your business.
Okay, what does
Like
that mean?
name recognition means like you go with a company that is known, worldwide
Okay.
by many people just because of their name.
Mhm.
So if I, like if I said to you, Publix,
Yes.
Publix,
Yes.
it's a great shopping grocery store, right?
Yes.
If I said Macy's, that's name recognition. So I went with the big name
Mhm.
to be able to have that recognition. So when people saw my name and saw that name after it, under it, I'm like, oh yeah, she's good. She's with that big company. They would know automatically that I'm in real estate because of that name.
Right.
So that's what I did because that's kind of what they tell you to do. What's the best thing to do?
Mhm.
And that was my path that God had intended for me.
Gotcha.
And I kind of knew it, but I made my own choice. So we kind of like mess up ourselves, even though when He's speaking to us, we go the way.
Still do what you want.
Right. And He didn't like slap me on the hand right. He didn't slap me on the hand right away. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, go ahead.
Right.
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
I'm gonna let you dab.
I'm gonna let you figure it out so you can see he was wrong. But I'm gonna still watch you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a really hard year, the first year. I did sell a home. I had family and friends that supported me.
Okay.
And I had my circle, that kind of they were buying and they were selling. So but I wasn't in the right
And
place.
this is still in your
This is my
big
beginning
name,
years.
your name,
The name brand.
name brand company. Okay.
And so anyways, I decided like during that time, because I lost a lot of money during that time, even though I was selling, I lost a lot of money. And my setup with my commission structure, things like that, was a little bit weird. But I thought it was normal. You know what I mean? Like I thought everything that was happening was normal. And come to find out, it really wasn't.
It was.
So I left and I actually went to a smaller brokerage.
Okay.
And that brokerage, which I would say it was called RSP Realty.
Okay.
And the reason I'll say their name is because it was a smaller brokerage, but I love this man.
Oh,
Right. This man, his name is Robert. He's actually retired now, right?
okay.
But and I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember how I met this man. It was just like one day I met him. Like I don't know how we got into the same room. That's what I mean, But one day I met him at a networking event, and to this day why was I there?
Wow.
Because God placed me there.
Yeah.
This man taught me everything I know. He
Wow.
he was like the best. He was like walking customer service.
Wow.
I know. And he taught me a lot. And he taught me how to talk to clients and how not to expect them to want me to represent them, but sell myself to them. And he also taught me that I wasn't a sales person. Because kind of what they teach you in school, you're a salesperson.
Yeah.
He taught me that I was an advisor.
That's good.
So you're advising them on their next big purchase. Like you're not a salesperson. You're advising them and you're just holding their hand, walking them through the process, making sure that all their I's are dotted and all their T's are crossed. And I was like, oh my God, this man's smart. And he actually used to own, it was called Your Home Superstore, and it was inside the mall. It was called inside Discovery Mills Mall in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there was a store in it called Your Home Superstore.
Wow.
And every Saturday and Sunday, I worked there from like 10 to 6. People went by just advising them about homes. I was doing that for free.
Wow.
Free.
Wow.
I was in a professional setting, but my goal was to make relationships. And I did. Some of those people didn't purchase that year, but they purchased a few years later and they called me.
Wow.
So those people called me. I actually sold a home to someone in 2022 from someone that I met while I was doing that back in 2000, I believe it was 7. And that's a testament of like, sometimes when you're nurturing people, it takes a long time, but I definitely wanted to quit right after when he retired. So Robert retired and I ended up going to another brokerage. And it devastated me because I was like, I love this. He's great. I bought
your mentor.
I didn't have a home when I was first selling real estate. I was living in an apartment. He was like, why? He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he was sitting there nurturing me.
Wow.
But I sold my own home for myself. He's like, I'm my own agent. I represent myself.
Exactly.
And so I learned even from all those mistakes, but after he left, I joined another brokerage, and it was really hard for me to find someone that just had that same mentality that I did, that it was really about advising people and not just yelling, and making relationships. And so around 2006 to 2007, though, the market crashed. That's when we had the biggest mortgage crisis here in Atlanta. Agents were dropping out. The foreclosure rate was super high. I was still in real estate. Wow. And I did quit from it because it was so hard. And I quit probably for about 2 years. And I just did litigation, became a litigation paralegal, or stayed being a litigation paralegal, and I just put my license on hold.
And I think that's when I met you.
Yeah.
Because I think in that time, I remember you saying you did real estate, but you were saying like, you're not like practicing, or something like that.
Right. And I was like, I had already purchased my home, and it was really tough. And so I had, my family, and we were doing well, but I could have used, stayed in it, but it was really hard. So I did stop for 2 years, got back into it again because I linked up with someone in real estate. And they were like, "What are you doing? You're in Atlanta, like
Right.
the home of real estate. Like,
The home of
like
real
everybody from up north is moving down
to
here.
Atlanta. Yes.
You have family
Fact.
up there. Like
Fact.
they're coming down. They need out. And and so I was like, "You're right. I need to get back in it." I was like, "But my paralegal job was so demanding, and I was working, crazy hours." And me with my kids had all kind of sporting events. So I was like working. I was working like 4 hours of sleep a night, trying to get to my son's baseball game, my daughter's softball game, and then still be at work at 6 in the morning. Like, so it was crazy. But there was a few times after that I wanted to quit as well. Sometimes you'll come across one client that will make you think it's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah, and I've had some clients that I know, I don't even want to tell me. I know I have a sweet spirit, but you really do. But I'm also, thank you. But I'm also like, I'm not gonna let you step on me either. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you're gonna come across people that don't have, they just don't care.
Yeah. Or they try to take advantage, or work it out for their best, outcome.
Right. And sometimes they'll just be like, they will just do everything, and it seems almost like it's intentional. So my mom, who's like my biggest prayer warrior, she's always like, you can't allow people to speak over your life.
Exactly.
And that's not just someone saying, "Hey, you're supposed to do this or you're supposed to do that." That's also when you're talking to a client, and your client is like, well, I had to do this or I had to do that. And you're like, well, yeah, but then I did this for you, And you're trying to explain it to them, you never should have to explain your worth to someone that should already understand your worth. That's the thing in marriage too, you know what I'm saying? That's a different topic, but
100%.
you ain't gotta explain it, you know it already. And so I had done so many things with the client, but it was a deal that lasted a year. I could have used a deal, and I walked away from it. Oh, but you know what? I told myself, like, God's gonna replace it, and He did.
Amen.
Double. So,
Amen.
but you have to trust that, and everybody don't trust that because some people depend on this money for every day, and I do too. I depend on my money every day. Yeah, I also have a deep trust in God that if it's for me, it's for me.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be so hard.
100%.
It's not going to be too hard.
100%.
So yeah, so
it gotta be the right fit.
Exactly. So that's kind of in a nutshell, like the times I wanted to quit, but then I always pick myself back up, and I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it, silly. Do it, sis.
Yes. Yes. And because I feel like you got to give yourself enough room to like grow. Like, and in that growth, you're going to have the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, but all of that is attributing to the growth process,
right?
Into your growth,
right?
For the better, And so, when I think about not quitting, those are some of the things that, like, always why I don't quit, right? Where I have quit, but why I try not to quit, because I'm like, this is a part of the growth,
right?
Just stay in it. keep going.
Right.
I'm getting back. I'm
Dust yourself up and get
Yes.
Dust
So
yourself off
instead
and
of
get
looking at it as one way, look at it as growth.
right.
That's what I'm trying to say. But I want to shift gears. So with Pod For Your Girl, we do, of course, the Patch Your Weave segment, which to me, I feel like, and y'all can let me know, this is the signature segment
I ain't got
of
no
the
weave,
show.
but you know, tap me little hand.
Yes, but have you ever worn weave before?
I
Yeah.
did, but it not like a whole weave or anything like that.
Okay. Like the track.
Yeah, it's
Or
like
something.
I really like buttons, so bun a little bit fuller. I
Okay,
did for a
okay.
wedding, but if I could weave my hair, I would, but you know, I mean,
There's
'cause
different
I'm
ways
light skinned,
now.
but I'm a light skinned sister. You know what I mean? And people don't always know that. And I'm
Yes.
like, you don't even like, you don't know what's going on back there. Yeah.
So, okay, so with Patch Your Weave, you may or may not know this. Like, the biggest thing with Patch Your Weave is why it is a segment is because it's all about breaking stereotypes and boundaries. Okay. So, if I could really relate this to anybody, I know you've probably seen the show Martin.
Yeah.
Okay, you know Shanae.
Yeah.
Okay, so with Shanae, she was that's your homie, that's my homie. I love her so much, but the thing is, like, she's just become this stereotypical ghetto black woman, right? And so a lot of times we tend to put people in a box. And so the thing is with Patch Your Weave, it's like about coming out of those boxes, breaking the boundaries. And the way God put this segment on my heart was like, okay, one day I was in public and my weave, like, so sometimes when you have weave, especially this one, you got to pat it because when you pat it, it's like you're scratching it. So, like, because with your weave, you can't really get down in there and scratch because it's a weave, right?
That's my daughter tell me. I don't know, but
Yeah,
Princess
those of
tell me.
y'all that know that wear weave, you know, like when you trying to scratch your scalp and you can't get to it because
gotta
on the
pat it.
tracks, you gotta pat it. And so I was in public and I just did not want to pat my weave because I felt like I would look like this Shanae type of person just doing like this. Like, you know, and it was, I think it was in a setting where it was like a little bit more reserved. And so I just felt like I had to just sit there. And then I just always remembered that moment to, like, you know, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I pat my weave? Why did I feel so restricted? Right. And so, anyways, fast forward down the line because of, you know, that moment, I always remember, like, you know, well, how many other boxes do we put ourselves in? How many other boundaries? How many other times do we restrict ourselves? And so now it has become a whole segment on the show about breaking stereotypes, breaking out of boundaries and boxes and stuff like that. And so for this segment, I want to keep it real estate, keep it real estate, and just kind of talk about a little bit of things that women of color may face. And so I have some statistics that I want to read to y'all and I want to share with y'all. And then we're going to get um, Miss Annetta to keep it real estate with us on how she feels about those topics. So, all right. So let me read them real quick. Okay. So one of the stats that I got is that Black and Latino women are more likely to be denied a mortgage compared to white women. According to a 2020 report, Black women had a mortgage denial rate of about 18%, while Latino women had a denial rate of approximately 14%. In contrast, the denial rate for white women was around 8%. Okay. And so I want to just kind of talk about that a little bit. So, for one, how does that make you feel from a personal note? And then keep it real with us. How does it make you feel like being a realtor? And do you see these stats? Like, do you see, you know, African American women purchasing homes, Latino women purchasing homes, white women purchasing homes? Because in general, and that's going to kind of bring me back around to in general, women purchasing home versus men purchasing home.
Well, so yeah, I definitely see it in the industry. And I'll be honest, it's almost like mortgage company specific sometimes. Like, because I've had, African American women, or Hispanic women apply with different lenders and get an approval. I can't tell you what they're doing behind the scenes, but it does make me go, why aren't they approved?
Wait,
Um,
okay, wait. Run that back real quick.
Okay.
You said you've had.
So I've had like African American women or Latino women, families, let's say families, to apply for mortgages with
different companies that they get, turned down. They'll say they're not quite ready yet. And then, but I'll say, hey, I have this other lender because I have some really awesome lenders that will look and they will lift up every stone for you, to see what they can find to help you. Okay. And I get them over to those lenders and they'll be able to get them approved. Now, obviously, if you have different stuff in your credit profile, financial history, and all that, and your financial status, like obviously, that can cause you not to get approved. But when you bring in the same amount of money, same credit profile to the table, and other lenders are approving you, others are not, it does make it seem kind of strange. Sometimes. Um, obviously, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but I do know that there is a big difference out there in what's going on in with the Hispanic community and the African American community in regards to loans. Now, and it makes you have to be when you select your agent. Make sure that your agent is also looking aware, like looking out for your best interest.
100%.
When people tell me I didn't get approved for the loan, I say, well, let me try someone else. And I'm not, and obviously, I'm never going to say to them it's probably because of your race, but I do believe sometimes that happens because just the way it happens in the industry and in regards to recently, I want to say earlier this year, Rocket Mortgage had gotten in trouble because their appraiser was under appraising properties that were owned by a black customer. It was a black customer, and that's something that happens. Like and knowing that family, they said, "Hey, this is incorrect. We did our research." The family did their own research.
That's good.
Right?
And so for those of y'all who don't own a home or don't know what appraisal is, can you tell them a little bit about what appraising is?
So appraisal is whenever you are purchasing a home and you get a mortgage, you have to get what's called an appraisal on the mortgage. And that is an appraiser that comes out and which is the person that's licensed to give the value of your home. Okay. And they come out and
value people. Value.
Okay. So they come out, the appraiser comes out and they assess your home. They check to see, if you have granite countertops or not. They check to see how the condition of your roof, your HVAC. They check to see, what's going on with the home and how much value is in the home. And they also take the information regarding the local homes and the local sales in the neighborhood. And they come down to a certain number to say, hey, this is the value that we believe is the value of the home. Okay. So in that, you need to have that when you are getting a mortgage because mortgage companies require it. They want to make sure that they're lending money for something that's worth the amount of money that they're lending. So loan to value, right? And so in that scenario, the family, the African American family, they said that they had applied with Rocket Mortgage, and they sent out their appraiser that they used. And when they advised Rocket Mortgage that, hey, because they were saying, hey, it's not worth that amount of money. When they advised Rocket Mortgage about it, they dismissed them.
Wow.
And they ended up getting a lawsuit, and I believe the family actually won the lawsuit.
Praise God.
Yeah. So I believe
they should.
it's either they're still going through it, but it's looking like they're gonna win it. So I haven't went back to look at the finishes of the story, but that's not uncommon. A lot of
I've heard so many stories like that. So many stories like that. I remember actually watching a show like documentary where they were talking about that, where they were talking about the value of the homes going down based on somebody's race being in the neighborhood or something like that. Like I have to go back and like look it up, but it's been some years now since I watched something like that. And someone actually did like a documentary about it. And I believe me and Mike was watching it. It's a well-known documentary too, y'all. It's like on Netflix. But I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it in the comments so y'all can know like I'm not just, putting stuff out there. But I want to talk about higher mortgage costs as well. So this is another fact that I found out. So even when approved for a mortgage, women of color often face higher interest rates. For example, Black women are more likely to receive subprime loans, which have higher interest rates and less favorable terms than prime loans. Over the time, these higher costs contribute to significant financial burden, reducing the ability for women of color to build wealth through homeownership. And to me, that's crazy. Like, what made me even look that up was, I don't know if you follow this person on Instagram, but the mortgage guy. Do you follow him?
Yeah, I do follow.
Okay, like there was
He's super smart.
he's really smart.
Yeah,
I love
he knows
watching his
he
stuff.
definitely knows. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was following him, and he reposted a African American woman. She was like doing a whole rant, and she was like talking about, like, how she's gonna have to sell her home because she can't even afford the mortgage, because when she moved in, the mortgage was one rate, but over the years it has gone to a place where she can't even like afford it anymore. Like, it was so bad. She was like, y'all, like, I cannot afford to live here. Like, this was not what my mortgage was when I moved in.
So, and I know exactly which one you're talking about, which video you're talking about, and so, and I think that because I saw that lady also. And what happens there is that in Atlanta, several different states, but in Atlanta, like when they build new construction homes, and you purchase a new construction home, a lot of times there's no um, equivalent of your property to do an estimate of your taxes, to give you an estimate of your taxes. So when their taxes may be not as much as they should be, when they give you those estimates at closing, like what your final payment is going to be. So the next year, when taxes, 1 or 2 years, when taxes actually are figured out for your community, because now that was a new community.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh my God, like my taxes went from being 1,200 to 3,000. That's why. And so I do prepare my clients for that. That's what you have to prepare them for, because when it's a new construction, a lot of times the tax is going to be really out of whack. But not only that, when you are buying a new home and the tax exemption, what I told you about, when you have a tax exemption. So let's just say you bought a home and that home was owned by a senior. They have senior tax exemption, which is amazing. Like, I only want to be a senior just for the tax exemption.
Right.
Because I mean, yeah, they could be paying like $100 a year for taxes or $400 a year for taxes. Like, it's ridiculous, but I love it for them, right? But if you buy it with that tax, and they've been in that house for 20 years paying senior tax, or 10 years paying senior tax, and then you buy it, that's not going to be your taxes. So I always prepare people, because you have to have an agent that's looking at the taxes for you. That's
what about the interest rate too, though?
The interest rate also. So with the interest rate, if you are getting it goes back to, in that young lady in that video, I believe that she, and not just her, but anyone else, sometimes they'll buy the new construction home, and they'll go and do a buy down, do like a 2-1 buy down, which means that what that means is that you're buying down your interest rate. Okay. And then sometimes that only means you're buying it down for 2 years. So for 2 years, so let's just say if the interest rate at the time is 7%. You do a 2-1 buy down, it'll go down, maybe 5% first year. So you'll be at 5% interest rate. Then the next year goes up up another percentage, go back to 6%. And then the third year is going to go back to whatever the interest rate was at that time. Okay. And so a lot of people don't understand that that's how that works. And and 1% is a lot of money. So for me, I told my clients, calculate that before you do that. Yeah. You can buy down a rate, but get one that buys it down for the term of the loan, the 30 years. You can do that too. You can't do that for every property. So, and every builder and lender is not going to do that, but some do. Now, when the interest rate's that high, like, so, it's not necessarily meaning that was a, issue because she's African American or anything like that. But I feel that a lot of times, depending on your agent, we're not educating, and your loan originator, we're not educating our African American clients, and we're not educating our Hispanic clients. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you, white people come in and they've already looked at they did the research, they did the research, and our people come in trusting us that we're gonna help them. And so I feel like sometimes, we as agents, do a better job to make sure that they understand. Yeah. When someone comes to me and like, I'm approved already, I'm not taking your approval and say, let's go buy a house right now. Right. I'm more concerned, did you get the best deal on that loan approval? Yeah, 100%. And don't just go with the first. Don't. Like, you got to compare some things.
Most people don't know. No, most people don't know you have about 30 to 45 days to apply for as many mortgages as you want with it only hitting your credit one time. Everyone thinks, oh no, I don't want all those inquiries. No,
No.
the government knows that you have, and the bureaus know that you need to shop around.
You gotta shop
The
around.
rate, the terms can all be different based on the lender. So when the lender does, and look at these lenders.
Please, y'all.
Look at the lenders, not just for the terms and interest rate, but also look up to see if they've had any lawsuits
Oh,
about discrimination, because some of them have.
that's good.
And people don't do that research. And obviously, I can't steer you away and I can't tell you, hey, don't use them because of
Right.
whatever lawsuit or whatever like that. But I am going to tell you to do your research.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to search on them and look them up and make sure that they're going to serve your best interest. Because there's banks that have historically not served our best interest. Historically, I mean, you can Google it. I already tell you that.
100%. Listen, shop around. Shop around. And there's one more thing that I want to mention is the impact on wealth accumulation. One thing that I found while I was doing research is the racial and gender wealth gap is exaggerated by disparities in home ownership. And this kind of goes with what you was talking about when you were saying you wanted to own a home because you knew that had something to do with wealth, right?
Mhm.
And so a study by the Urban Institute found that the median net worth for Black women homeowners is significantly lower than that of white women homeowners, due in part to lower home values and higher interest rates. For instance, the median net worth for Black women homeowners is about $40,000 compared to, check this out, $140,000 for white women homeowners.
Well,
That is
it's insane.
crazy.
And let me tell you, it's
This is net worth.
right. But let me tell you, and to be keeping it real estate.
Yes,
real,
keep it real.
okay.
Keep it realistic.
Okay, so in my experience, I have, I've represented different cultures, different, cities, and I get along with everybody. I love everybody. But one of the main things I've seen over the years is the support that individuals get from their family when they're purchasing a home.
Hmm.
And this is important to know because this plays into exactly what you're talking about is how is their net worth not the same, but they're both homeowners, right? And not necessarily they're going to be the same because obviously they're buying different areas, they're buying for different reasons.
Yeah.
But it comes into play when you have your parents, okay, that are gifting you $50,000 and $60,000 for your down payment starting off.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So you can afford a better home.
home.
You can kind of put that money into something
You can
bigger
afford a better home.
and
You
better.
can, and you immediately, if your parents are giving you 60,000, you're putting in 40,000. You've already put in 100,000. You're walking into this house with equity already.
True.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I see a lot of these. I see a lot of Caucasian, families that help. They call it a wedding gift, or I've seen my mom is gifting me, the down payment of the home. Down payment can be anywhere from 3 to 10%.
Yeah.
Your first
100%.
right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, you starting off with that right there, starting off with owning a home, and someone just gave you 60,000.
That's true.
It's not always happening in the community.
Yeah.
Now it's like it doesn't. It happens. It does. My goal is I want to do this for my children because I see it. I'm like, oh my God, do you know what you give your child when you start them off by not letting them drain their bank account to buy a home? Okay.
Yeah.
When I bought my home, I love my parents. They worked hard. But they didn't have money for down payment.
Right. 100%.
Like they offer their support, and whatever I need, afterwards,
Yes.
if I had a AC unit that went out and, couldn't just make it at that moment, they offer to help fix it and things like that. But when it counts in terms of the value of your home in the beginning, I think that plays a lot of that too.
Okay.
It's
generational. It's generational. Yeah, 100%. But also, so I want to, so can we talk about the median net worth? So what is that? That's like adding up all of like,
It's what you're worth. It's everything that you own, but it's also going to be, it, you're not going to have any type of debt on that home. So really, you're talking about your net worth of me owning a home, like you should own it and have full equity in it.
Gotcha.
So, okay,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. Where
So then it's the value. So the value of the home also is probably they're buying more valuable homes.
they're also,
The worth of the house is better than the worth of a house that an
are
African
able
American
to,
woman or woman of color is going to have just off the bat.
right.
Yeah.
And but they're able to, because remember now, unfortunately, a lot of times in their community, their parents have paid for them to go to college, and so these things I've seen,
Yeah.
they don't have a college debt coming in.
Yeah. Be keeping it real estate.
I don't have a lot of like clients that say, hey, I don't have I don't have college. I don't have a college bills or tuition to pay or whatever. But yes, yeah. But a lot of my African American, friends and family and my Hispanic friends and family, they have those loans.
Yeah.
And so you come in, that's a burden you have. Yeah, you're not just giving all your money into put into the house. And so if you do a loan, if you take out a loan and you only have to bring 3%, you're just gonna bring 3%. That's all you're trying to bring. But these parents are doing it, and so it causes the value of. So now, if you bought a home that's 200,000, and your parents gave you 100,000 or 50,000, you only own 150,
Right.
it's easy to pay that off at this point.
Yes. And you can afford like a bigger house. I mean, well, not just a bigger house, but a more valuable house.
Right.
Because I don't want to put price. I've seen smaller homes be worth more, but they're in a different neighborhood. It's an area or a school district or something like that. And so it's not about how big the home is, it's about the value of the home.
Like look at City Decatur,
Yeah. Oh my God.
Decatur. You buying a
$1 million house.
800 square foot
Bungalow.
home, right?
Little bungalow.
800 square foot bungalow, and you in 750,000.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the area. It's walkable.
Oh my God.
It's community.
So cute.
It's
Very
very
the lifestyle.
Exactly.
You're paying for the lifestyle.
Exactly.
You could just get up, leave. You could sometimes leave your door unlocked.
Just be
walking around happy. Don't even worry about it.
Dog outside playing, you gardening, husband out there just
They pay for lifestyle. Or people pay for lifestyle. People value lifestyle, and so that is almost attached to a mortgage, which mortgage is also attached to wealth. Which is why I say wealth is not just your finances and being able to pass down finances. But now you just take that community of Decatur. Now you're passing down a whole lifestyle to your child. And so you're not just passing down the house, but you're passing down a whole lifestyle. So they have peace because you have peace.
Right.
And all of that is a part of your wealth, you guys. And so,
and a lot of people, it's inheriting properties too. Like, different communities have different outlooks on what's happening in a community,
Right.
And some people have make the size of a mustard seed, and they move into. I've seen people move in, like the community over there, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
rough somewhere.
Oh my God.
There's some people holding on, and
they holding on.
And
oh my God.
I showed a home. I showed a home in Pittsburgh, $650,000. When I tell you it was bad, $650,000, but it was next to two crack abandoned houses.
Yes,
with homeless people.
100%.
My client that wanted to buy that house, I told him this is what I tell him, because I can't tell you nothing else about the community. We like the house. That's it. I can't tell you nothing else. But I said, what I want you to do is just come at night and make sure you like the area. That's all I'm gonna say. Come at night, make sure you like the area, because I need to make sure you like it during the day and at night.
Yeah, 100%.
They went at night and they came back and they said, absolutely
not.
Somewhere else. But you gotta be made for that life. You gotta, and they will hold on to it, and then they'll buy that house for $650, and then they probably the person who bought the house bought it for $250.
They flipped it.
Yeah.
And no lie, Pittsburgh we actually went to look at a house in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And this was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So you already know.
You're banking right now.
Was not,
they doing good.
It
over
was
there.
not what it was. Right. Yeah, true. We would have been good now.
Right.
We would have definitely had way more equity in our home than what we have right now.
Yeah.
Because that place, it boomed faster than it did over here.
Yeah.
Even though it's not too far. Not without saying where I live.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, make a long story short, we went over there. Our realtor showed us a house, but the neighborhood was just so sketch. We could not do it. It was just so to the point where you just did not feel safe. Like, did not feel safe. And our neighborhood is up and coming. It's still up and coming, but at least when we bought it, we felt safe.
Right.
But there you just didn't. It was 10 years ago, Pittsburgh.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I hate to say this, but you know, a Black lady, a Hispanic lady, we gonna be like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, no, thank you.
100%.
Unless you grew up around that.
Yeah.
I grew up in the hood in Boston and Dorchester. So, but you move on to life and you know what you want, right? But they won't thug it out. They will be there and white people will go and they'll live somewhere and then they'll get that value. And I'm like, you gotta learn from that. They do that, and they do life insurance, and then they use the money for the life insurance to buy the house. Girl, let me tell you, that is what they do.
Oh, that's the hack. I cannot. No, but I feel like you at least gotta feel safe though.
No, you
and
do.
then
But
like
they don't be caring.
They don't be caring. Hey, you guys, now we are going to have a word from our episode sponsors. Yes, you guys, we got sponsors. Check these amazing products out. Okay, let's talk about finding the best products for your business without breaking the bank. Whether you're just starting out or been running your side hustle for a while, sourcing quality, high quality, affordable products is key to growing and scaling your business. Okay, so that's why I'm excited to tell you about DH Gate. Yes, you guys, if you haven't heard of DH Gate, it's a one-stop online marketplace where you can find just about anything for your business at wholesale prices. From fashion, beauty products to electronics and home goods, DH Gate connects you directly with suppliers. Yes, y'all, so no middleman, helping you save on every order. I know how tough it is to keep costs low while still offering your customers top-notch products, but with DH Gate, you can do both. And the best part, they offer buyer protection, so you can shop with confidence knowing your purchases are safe. So if you're ready to stock up and save big, click the DH Gate link in this episode's description and start saving using DH Gate today. Guys, don't forget to use the discount code GOCHI and go check out Ritual right now. I promise y'all, I'm using this fertility support drink. It's a 3-in-1 drink, and it really does help you guys. Most of all, the taste is really, really good. I know you guys, some of y'all may have help while you are on this journey to motherhood, and you may be using products that don't taste as good, that you don't really like to take on a daily basis. But let me tell you guys, this stuff, it tastes like lemon. You're gonna love it. And one of the things that I really love is that I take it twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And it gives me the confidence that I need to know that my body is going to do what it needs to do as we are preparing to bring our third child into the world. I'm not pregnant yet, but I'm super hopeful that within the next few months, with the help of Ritual, this 3-in-1 drink mix for fertility support, that I'm going to be getting the good news any day now. So I want you guys to definitely go over and check out Ritual. Go over and check out Ritual right now. And they have a lot of different supplements on their website, not just the 3-in-1 fertility support. So if you guys just need supplements for a day-to-day basis, for women, for teens, your teen girls, they have some amazing products on their website. And for everyone who is a part of the Pod For Yah Girl family, I want you guys to use the code GOCHI at checkout so you can save on your first order. Also, the link is in the description of this episode right now. now. So you can just head on over, click the link in this episode's description, head on over to Ritual and see their site, y'all. One of the best things about this brand that I love is that all of the ingredients are traceable. So if you're thinking about this fertility support drink mix, if you're thinking about this and you're family planning right now, it gives you the confidence to know, like, okay, I'm not just putting anything in my body, but I'm putting something in my body that I know where it comes from. So when you go on the website and you are getting ready to add your stuff to the cart, in the about, you'll be able to see where the ingredients come from, you guys. And I love it. It's amazing. This stuff is truly amazing. So please, please, please go check out the website. Check out the website. You got to have your daily dose of supplements and goodness and all of the things that you need to continue to drive your body, y'all. You can't do this alone. So go check out the website and start putting the nutrients back into your body. We pour so much out that we have to start to pour back into ourselves. And so, yeah, go check it out. Use the code GOCHI at checkout or click the link in this episode's description so you can save at checkout. Hey girl, are you ready to turn that passion into a thriving online business? Whether you're just starting fresh or looking to grow what you've already built, Shopify is the platform that can make it all happen. I personally love how easy it is to use, even if you're not super tech savvy. From stunning website templates to powerful tools to manage inventory, payments, and shipping, Shopify has everything you need to run a successful business. And here's the best part: you don't need a big budget to get started. Shopify offers affordable plans to fit any stage of your business, and they've made scaling easy when you're ready to grow. So if you're serious about taking your brand to the next level, it's time to stop waiting and start doing. Go ahead and click the Shopify link in this episode's description, and you can sign up or transfer your existing website to a Shopify site today. Trust me, you will not regret it. Let's make those business dreams and Shopify reality. You guys, thank you guys. But we are back with the Pat Your Weave segment. We were talking about Pittsburgh and, how it's okay to live there for some people and for some that it's not. And so just kind of wrapping up the Pat Your Weave segment, we want you guys, the biggest takeaway to take away today is to actually go out and put it out there. Go out there, apply for the loans, make sure you are not operating in fear, and just apply. Because when you apply, I think you said it earlier that you get up to
you can apply to as many loans as you like within that 30 to 45 day window, and it only affects your credit one time. If you get more than that, you can dispute it because it's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to only give you one hit on your credit, and we don't take advantage of that enough. And so we leave a lot of stuff on the table. There's so many different loan products out there and so many different mortgage companies, and that can do different things for you. That includes, your loan originator. Who is your loan originator? Are they working in your best interest? Are they finding you the best deals out there? Because they can do that too, and so just make sure that you are applying and that you are looking for yourself. Don't trust everybody. There's a wealth of information. Now, granted, there's a wealth of disinformation too, bad information online, but you want to make sure that you're looking for yourself as well and making sure that you are definitely asking those questions and asking, your loan originator, whoever you're talking to, let them know that you're shopping around. Sometimes they will give you better rates because they know you're shopping around.
Yes. We want to make sure that you guys are not afraid to pat your weave when it comes to the real estate market, okay? It doesn't matter. You may feel weird. Why? Because it's different. You're doing something different. You're doing something new. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You got to get out there and you got to pat your weave. You got to apply for these loans, okay? You got to take advantage. I feel like it's so crazy. We have all of these systems that take advantage of us, but y'all have to take advantage of the system.
Take advantage of it.
Do your research. Do your research.
And that's the thing. That's what keeps us back a lot, because in our community, we're told like, oh, you don't want that many hits on your credit report. You don't want that many inquiries on your credit report. and be really worried because we worked so hard to get that good credit to be able to even get qualified. And then we're worried about it. And, I mean, me and my husband were guilty of it. He was guilty of it. And but when we found out, that, hey, no, you can apply for many mortgages as you want, and it's not going to affect you. So you want to at least, obviously you want to keep it within reason. Let's just say if you're applying for, I always tell people at least apply to 3 mortgages at the very minimum. Now you can do more if you want, but at the very minimum, apply for 3 mortgages and see who's going to give you. And that's after you do your research on them.
Yeah.
Research them first. Don't just, Google and see Rocket Mortgage come up and apply.
Come on.
Because they're gonna be the first ones to come up. They pay for those spots on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So it may not be the best person for you, the best company for you, and not just research the company, but also research your loan originator, and your agent. Make sure that they're gonna be the ones working on your behalf, for the next 30 to 60 days. You want to make sure that they are getting the best deal for you, and you only can do that by not being afraid. Asking those tough questions. Like, ask me how many people have I helped in that neighborhood. Ask me if I'm familiar with that neighborhood. Ask me, how long I've been doing this. I mean, I sometimes get new buyers that come in and they don't really ask me any questions. And I'll say, well, let me tell you a little bit about me. Let me tell you what my expectations are of you.
Yeah.
Because coming in, it's not just, I'm not just helping you, you're helping me.
Yeah.
You're helping me. You're helping me with my business, you're helping me feed my family. 100%. So I have expectations of you as well.
Come on with the expectations. You got to put expectations. We just doing it for y'all own benefit, okay? It's not like, we trying to apply pressure, but we doing it for y'all own benefit, because to whom much is given, much is required, right? Exactly. So you want this house, I require some things of y'all, okay? And so, so we're going to dive into our next segment, which is faith field. And so what I want to hear from you is any type of encouragement, any type of uplifting that you can give to our community out there, to just kind of give them, some encouragement that this is a dream that they can achieve, or, they're not just going to be in their Atlanta dream, but just be in their American dream of home buying or entering into the home buying process.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, home buying is not for everyone.
Okay.
Like, it's not for everyone. Some people are just meant to be renters.
I'm sorry. This was so funny because I'm telling her to encourage her. She's about. I'm sorry. I have to laugh at that because she's like, no, the encouragement is that it may not be for you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Get to the encouragement part. I got to start with a disclaimer, okay? Because I don't want to say everyone's meant to be a homeowner. Oh, they're not. They're just not. It's hard work, and it's hard work. It's commitment. And so my encouragement is, do what's right for you. Don't set standards for whatever your life is going to be or whatever you need to live at based on somebody else. So just because everybody around you buying a house don't mean it's your turn to buy a house. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I was getting at with that. So I know I was kind of a Debbie Downer at the moment, right? But when I say that is because, and it may not be your season either.
It may not be your season.
Okay. You may
been in real estate.
You may buy that house and now you got a foundation problem. You know why? Because you weren't ready. You didn't do your research. You didn't do your research for your agent. You didn't do your research for your lender. You didn't do your research when it came down to when you got that agent and you went under contract and you got that inspection report back. You didn't do your research on those deficiencies that were found in that report, right? And so now you own this house with all these problems, and now you own this house with these problems, and now you don't have no money because that's where you put all your money down for down payment. So my encouragement is, okay,
keep it real estate.
Do it when you're ready. Don't measure or make your timeline based on anybody else.
Anybody.
I don't care if they're saying, oh, the price of the house is going up. I get it. But guess what? What God has for you, He has for you. And I really
100%.
And just to kind of, and I know you know, with everything with the real estate, with me, it's like when I talk to my new clients that come in, I will tell you if you're not ready. I will say, you know what? I think you need to step back. And I have some people love me for it, and have some people that don't want to deal with me because of it. But guess what? It's my business, and I have to run it the way I feel.
Yeah,
it's ethical. Yeah, and not only that, it's loving as well. Because I feel like if I'm being loving when I'm trying to, because that's part of my job, right? If I go to any type of office and that office is going to make a referral out to someone, right? Refer me out for, let's say if I go to the doctor's office, the doctor is like, it's a general doctor. The doctor is like, well, you need to see a dermatologist, right? They're going to refer me to someone that's going to get the job done. 100%. That's usually what they're supposed to do, right? But if I am, or make your, in real estate, if you come to me and I need to refer you out to different people, before I refer you out to those people, I need to make sure you're ready. That's good. You know what I mean? So if you tell me, yeah, I work, I only got like $1,000 saved, also my car note, for some reason a lot of car notes now like $900 a month. My car note's $900 a month, I got about 6 more years on it. I'm gonna say you may not be ready. You may not be ready. So be ready, but make sure you're ready. Yeah. And celebrate other people. So if somebody else got a house, you don't gotta match their energy with another house. So good. Go to their homewarming and give them a gift. Yeah. And say congratulations. Yes. 100%. Oh my God. People want to one up everyone so much in Atlanta. Atlanta is like the city of the one uppers. It is. It really is. You get a house, somebody's gonna get a better. You get a car, somebody's gonna get a better car. And like, for me and my husband, we have taken a look back and been like, or everything we do, we definitely try to make sure for our kids, though, we try to make sure everything we do is only for them. Yeah, that's good. Only for them. And it's because that's our legacy. That's who, everything we're doing, we're leaving it for them. The properties that we acquire. Yeah. So if you're going to do something, if you feel like you need to buy a home, if you feel like you need to buy anything, but specifically we're talking about homes, right? Yeah. Make sure you do it and you have the reason to do it, because home ownership is not for the weak. If you got, let me tell you how much, 100, changing pipes, plumbing. Look, whenever we got a HVAC, I think that was our biggest expense. Oh my God, was the HVAC. Our HVAC was our biggest expense. I think it was like about $12,000. Oh yeah, $1,000. Yeah. Well, yeah, ours was like 9. Yeah. That's the deal. Yeah. Ours was about 12. And then our roof was pretty expensive. We obviously we did an insurance. We filed for insurance, but that still was a big hit on our insurance. And we had our sewer line broke twice. Oh my gosh. That was $4,000 twice. Woo! So it ain't for the weak. But guess what? I had those heartaches and those tough times. I love my privacy. Oh yeah. I love being able to say it's my home. Yes. Eventually you're gonna pay it off. Right. It's gonna be yours. Exactly. Yeah. But you have to be ready for it. Yes. It's like anything. It's just like motherhood or anything like that. But you have to be ready for it. It's gonna come with so many things that you like the moment you buy your house, you may walk in and you may need a toilet and break. You may need a new toilet. And guess what? There's no maintenance man to call. Yeah. So you gotta take care of it yourself. Yeah. My encouraging words is just do it on your own time. And I think that helped me. And even in my walk with God, I definitely realized that even my walk with him was, comparison based sometimes, and how to pull back on that. That's good. And I realized that my walk with God is not the same as everybody else's. So it's not going to look the same. Yeah. Same thing with real estate. Get your home when you're ready. Now, will it be more expensive? It may be, but guess what? You also may be in a different position financially. Yes. Oh, I want to piggyback on that, because if you're not ready right now, you may be in your preparation season. And there's nothing wrong with saying like, I'm preparing to purchase a home. I'm preparing to purchase a home. And what does that look like? Like, what does that even look like? And it's okay with voicing that and saying that to your community, to your friends, to your family. Some people move in silence, and ain't nothing wrong with that either. But, just because we're talking about the one up type of situation, like, if someone buys a home and you say, I am preparing to purchase a home, what did you do? Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we always feel like we have to one up had to look like you're buying your home. Exactly. But honestly, there shouldn't even be no one up, period.
That's
You want up yourself.
You want up yourself. Like if you,
I
be
believe
living
that.
to one up somebody else.
Oh, I'm living every day to one up myself. Like right now, I'm like, okay, what can I do to make more money?
Right. For you.
Right. For me.
Because you're never gonna be happy if you're trying to do it for somebody else. Like period. That's
Right.
never gonna make you happy.
Never
But if you will find fulfillment in the knowledge that you gain by saying like, okay, I'm preparing to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
What knowledge can you gain from that? In a sense, you're gonna get fulfilled from just sitting down with that individual and saying, okay, this is what you did. So now I know, now I can do it, or now I can research it for myself and I can now grow from that. Versus like, if you're moving in silence and you're just like, she bought a home, he bought a home, I want that. And you moving in this envy, towards this envy lane, which
the devil start talking to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get it. And then they got to be better than theirs.
It got to be better than theirs. And now you out here buying something that you can't even afford.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one.
Right.
And you see my sis, Annetta, you go pull up to her office and you put me in a home. And you ain't ready to buy a home. But if you would have asked your friend, him or her, like, what did you do? They would have told you like, well, I couldn't eat out for 10 months. Or I couldn't eat longer than that. I sacrificed for 2 years.
It's going to be longer than that.
It's going to be longer than that. If you're trying to save up a $20K deposit, no, for real, you get serious and you focus and you tunnel vision and you're like, I can't eat out. I can't go to the club. You popping bottles. That's why I didn't go to the club, because I was buying my home. So you start to understand like, yeah, this person, you may see them in their house. You may see them with their nice things, but now when you talk to them, okay, this is what they did to get there. It's stuff that I didn't see that she was doing or he was doing. And so now I'm learning I'm preparing myself to move into a season of not just home ownership, but sustaining.
Yeah, like
a whole word.
That's a whole segment right there. Right there.
Hey, I hope y'all finding some faith out of this.
Right.
Get your faith today, okay? Right. Because it's real. It really is real. You can't get into a home and then the bills are bigger.
Oh, Lord.
The bills are going to be bigger as well.
You want to be warm in the wintertime, right?
Listen, that part. So we just keeping it all the way real estate with y'all, because you may see people buying homes.
And it may not be your season.
But it may not be your season.
Not yet.
And that's okay.
Right. And you pray on it, work on it. I think the best thing for everybody to do is make sure that you are doing it for the right reasons.
Yes.
The right reasons. Like you get married, you want a home together. That's a good reason, but work on it together, because your dream can turn into a nightmare.
Oh,
real
man.
Yeah.
So, Lord. And y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. And my thing is, be prepared so you can buy what you want.
Right. Exactly.
Instead of rushing to get something that's a lemon, or that,
that's not what you wanted.
That's not what you wanted. And that may turn into a nightmare, like what you just said. Because y'all do not want that.
Or y'all don't want it at all.
Okay. All right. So the last thing, this is just a bonus segment really quick, y'all. So hopefully y'all got faith and encouragement from that. And we really do pray that when it's your season to enter into home ownership, that you will enter into home ownership and it will be seamless and the Lord's hand will be all up on it and y'all be great. But I have this bonus segment really quick. I used to do it on the podcast. It's called Lift Every Voice, but it's not going to be on every segment, you guys, this season. So just let y'all know. I know if you listen to the old podcast, we had lift your voice segment. But
I know you ain't about to ask me to sing, because oh my God. Jesus.
So the Lift Your Voice segment was really just a segment, and y'all could tell me too in the comments if y'all want me to really bring this back. But okay, the Lift Your Voice segment was talking about things that are in pop culture or that's going on right now pertaining to the conversation that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And so basically you get to chime in on it. And what say you about this that's going on in your industry or that's going on in the culture right now? Like, what do you have to say on it? And so that's the Lift Your Voice segment. So you just get to put your input, weigh in on the topic. Okay. And so most of the time it's like with pop culture. And so I just feel like because you're sitting here, I want to know like what you think about it, but you could tell me if you watch this show or not.
Okay, go ahead. I feel like you put the accent, I don't know.
Okay, so Selling Sunset on Netflix. Have you seen it or heard of it?
I don't think it's like realistic, so I only watched like the first season. I don't think it's realistic. Like, so let me tell you. So just kind of side note, the kind of similar show that was here in Atlanta, it was called God, I can't remember what it was called, but
I know what you're talking. Was it like on? It was like on. On. Oh,
yeah, maybe it was on OWN. But yeah, it was like a spinoff of Selling Sunset. It was here. It was called I can't remember what it's called, but anyway,
something about real estate.
Yeah,
like real estate drama.
Yeah, it was
show.
here in Atlanta. If you look it up, and so I knew those ladies. Some of those ladies on there. I kind of met them before. I didn't know them personally, but I've been in the same space with them, and some of the attorneys on there I've used.
Oh wow,
yeah, and so the attorneys were real genuine. I kind of like used them before, and I've been in the same spaces with them before. But it's just so much drama, like unnecessary drama that they have on those shows.
Yeah,
and see that is kind of different. So the one in California, wherever that one's at, I think LA, or like I think it's like all Caucasian ladies.
There's one black woman on there,
right? So in the one here was like all black African American.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so the one here, I feel like they just showed all the bad stuff. They wasn't showing like the great, like they showed a few great moments, but they were showing a lot of conflict and a lot of fighting and a lot of. And so I did try to watch that the Sunset one. I can't remember the whole name. Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset.
Okay. I tried to watch some, and it was just like I was kind of disappointed because I'm like they're trying to sell like $1 million homes.
Yeah,
acting like it's just like so simple and whatever. And so I just like, yeah, it's not realistic. Let me just keep it moving.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get your input. Like the season, I think like the 6th season just came out, and I watched it. It was drama filled. I'm not gonna go into the detail, whatever. But if you would have watched it, I would have went into detail with it. But the thing that I really wanted to ask was like, do you think like it's realistic? And you're already saying like no, like you don't think.
To me, like, I mean, it's just showing. Like, yeah, there's drama in real estate, but I mean, I'm not calling the agent next to me and fighting with them about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna call my broker and tell him to check you because you are, I mean, we're independent contractors, right? But at the end of the day, that is your broker. Yeah, I can't call you. Yeah, that's your boss, essentially. I mean, essentially, you know what I mean? We're on our own bosses, but that person is over your license. That person holds your license. So I'm gonna call your broker and let them talk to you crazy because I don't got time for it. Got time. People out here, especially in Atlanta, they want to fight you. So, but it to me, it's like it's just not realistic, and it's expectations for some of these new people coming in that they're gonna come in and eat up stuff.
I feel like a lot of people have gone like real estate because of those shows.
Yeah, and they that's all it's about, and it's about the Louis bag and the BMW you're driving. It's really not like. It's really not. Like, I could afford a BMW if I wanted to, but I don't get it because I'm trying to save my money. So what happens, they see these shows and they see all these people, all these fabulous items and selling all this real estate. And, you know, they think that that's all it's about, and it's really not.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not realistic, so I don't watch it, you know. Now, is it funny? It's funny because it's like, oh my God, like some things I know happen.
Yeah.
But highlight the good things. Like we do a lot of good things. Like I've helped, you know, people before that have been really struggling, and a lot of agents do. Like I'm not the only one out here, but it help families do stuff. Like I had a lady that didn't have a car, and it's hard in Atlanta to help somebody without a car. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I had to drive her to every appointment and pick her up, and then also help her move and do all kind of stuff. So show those times of these agents on here but you know what? They don't make money.
How about the same because I think some people try to make like these good not real estate, but good reality TV, like showing good stuff, like not just the drama stuff, and they don't make money, like, or they don't like, you know, bring and it falls off. And so I think that people have just went into this, how can we just create drama around every industry, and then we'll just make it a reality TV show, and then people will watch it because people like drama.
Right.
And so at the end of the day. But I love that though. I love the feel good stuff too. That's amazing that you do that.
Yeah.
That you've done that, and you probably still will, and you probably will always like that's
I do some crazy stuff now. So I had one person. It wasn't even my client. I was representing the buyer, and my buyer pulled out at the last minute. It was on December. I think it was like December 23rd. It was like 2 days before Christmas. This family was a family, had 5 children, and she pulled out just because she just changed her mind
about selling
the house. So this family that was selling, they were in a hotel with 5 kids. The mom was distraught. They had no gifts, no food, no nothing, and gifts and food over to the hotel.
Oh my God!
And just left it there, and then left. And I gave it to her agent, and then I left. And she called me later and thanked me or whatever, but she's really mad. And I get it, But it's just that same lady ended up referring someone to me, and that wasn't even my client.
Wow,
that wasn't my client, but she referred someone to me because she understood that I really cared and I was compassionate.
Yes,
I felt so bad for her, and I was mad at my client, even though it's your right to change your mind until you sign those papers, right? Until you sign those papers, you can walk away, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. So I told my client, it's up to you. It's definitely up to you. So I'm not going to sway her not to buy it because that's her. She had a talk with Jesus and said she wasn't going to buy it, or maybe she had a talk with herself. I don't know, but I supported her in whatever she wanted to do. But at the same time, I can understand that seller was in misery. That seller was devastated. And so I felt bad. I felt bad more for the children. And so I was like, oh my God, these poor babies, they got no gifts. They got no Christmas dinner. They got no Christmas tree. I was like, but I say that because I'm just like, in this industry, we do so much more things. And I know it's not going to sell on TV. It's not going to sell on TV. And, but it is what it is. And at the same time, there's a lot of drama.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we highlight the drama all the time, we're just going to stay there.
Man, that is real. Y'all comment and let us know what y'all think about Selling Sunset and what y'all think about reality TV drama. I just want to know. I want to know what y'all think. But I just want to thank my guest.
Oh, thank you,
Annetta, for coming through at Miss Atlanta Dream Finder. I truly appreciate you. I know the people who get to listen and watch this will appreciate all of your nuggets, wisdom, your keeping it real estate, everything that you have taught us on today. Please don't let it fall on deaf ears. Go out there and make good use of it. Research until you are ready to buy a home. And do not forget to pat your weave in any situation. All right. So what I want her to do now is to tell us how we can find you, like on social media, anything that they could do to reach out to you when they are ready, if you're in Atlanta. If you're prepared to buy a home, how can they find you?
If you're ready to purchase a home here in Georgia, you can reach out to me. My phone number is 470-773-9041. Or you can reach me on social media and Instagram is at Atlanta Dream Finder. And on my Facebook is Atlanta Dream Finder as well. And I'm also licensed in Massachusetts. So if you have any... I am. I'm also sorry. I dropped that off. Yeah. I have my broker license in Massachusetts as well, so that'll be coming soon. And so hopefully I'll have that up and running by the beginning of the year.
Let's go.
But yeah, follow me on Atlanta Dream Finder on Instagram. And if you have any questions, real estate related, just give me a call and I would love to help you.
Yes, y'all, please hit my sis up. She's amazing. She is so amazing. I'm not even saying that because she's sitting here, but she is truly amazing. No lie. She's our go girl. Keep going. I didn't even know she had the Boston license. So we're going to add that on to the go girl. That's another reason you get the go girl. Keep going. Till you are bi-coastal, international. I don't know what it is. How all that works.
I got a few things coming. So working on a few things.
Let's go. I'm so excited for you. So happy for you. And I can't wait to hear all of the good things. Follow her. Hit her up. Follow Pod For Yah Girl. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about this episode. We appreciate y'all just being our audience. Follow us on Instagram at Pod For Yah _ girl. One of these days, I'm gonna do that seamlessly, okay? Because I feel like every time I get to that
today ain't your time.
Every time I get to that underscore, it messes me up. Pod for your underscore girl.
Didn't do it either. Next time,
Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
we know what
It's
you're
an
trying to say.
underscore after the four.
They're gonna put it right here.
Yes, that part right there. Yes, but follow us on Instagram, y'all. Love y'all. Till next time. Bye.
Pop for your girl.
That's right. It's a podcast.
It's pop for your girl.
We got to go out.
Pop for your girl.